Okay, so here we go. We're going to talk about bearing angles here. So this is number 2 from our, this is from 7F assignment. Number 2, find the bearing of Q from P in each diagram. So basically here's what you want to do. To find the bearing of this Q line from P, we start the from P. This is where you start. So we actually go from P to Q. So we're starting at P, and then we're going to do this angle around here until we get to Q, and that would be the bearing. Bearing always starts from facing due north. Where do you hear the word, it's okay, this will make sense here in a second. Where do you hear the word bearing in life?
The ocean.
Yes, the ocean. Bing,
like
bing, 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 bing.
Bering Sea.
Yes, the Bering Sea. Yeah, bearing is like if you're out in a boat and you're like, okay, I'm cruising around, you know, I'm heading towards blah blah blah, and then I took a left-hand turn at the lighthouse or whatever. It's like people aren't going to know what do you mean a left-hand turn? So you have to give like a degree angle, especially when you're out in the open ocean. Like if you're just saying, hey, I just kind of went out this way and like come find me, they're going to be like, good luck. It's game over for you. So bearing always starts like as if you're facing due north.
Where's north?
North would, like from us right now, north is that way.
Really? So I feel like north is relevant to wherever I'm looking.
Because I've been here for 20 some odd years, so yeah, north is
that way.
North is that way.
I thought it was this way.
It might be, it's that way-ish, yes. So.
Oh, I always thought it was the way I was looking. That's always north, that's north, everywhere's just north.
Everywhere's north.
So whatever's behind me is south.
Okay, so with that bearing, you always face due north, and then it's basically how far clockwise do you go, how many degrees do you have to turn to get to, say, Q, where you want to be facing towards Q. So on this one here, this bearing angle here is actually just 126 degrees. Okay, so that because you start with due north and you go clockwise until you hit your line, you're 126 degrees. Good?
So it gave you the answer?
Yes.
Oh.
This one here is not going to be quite as nice, but you, again, always start at due north, and then we're going to go around clockwise until we go to hit the line that leads from where we're at to where we want to go. So Q to P, P to Q in that case. Okay. So this angle here, we know from here to here is 65. How do we figure out what this whole angle is going to be?
Well, what's half of a circle?
What's half of a circle? 180, right? And then what are we going to do?
That.
What's that?
And then add that.
And then add 65, and there we go. And there's our 245. There's the bearing angle. Okay, so if you're facing north and you're actually wanting to go that way, you have to spin around all the way until you get to that piece there. And how many degrees did you spin? 245 degrees is what we spun. Okay, does that make a little bit of sense as to what bearing's talking about? Okay, how about let's do C and then we'll move on to the big stuff. But it's all right. We found a good way to do the big stuff. So here's P, here's Q. We start here and go clockwise until we hit that point. What's this angle right here have to be?
Well, what's 1/4 of a circle?
What's 1/4 of a circle? Half a circle is 180.
90.
So that'd be 90.
And then.
But we are 30 degrees short of that 90, right? So subtract that 30, like Max is talking about there. And we get 60 degrees as our bearing angle.
This is not as difficult.
Okay? It's okay, isn't it? All right?
But wait till we get to difficult.
All right. But wait until you get to this. Okay, so now here, this is a little different. It's okay. Deep breath, you're going to be all right. All right, here's what we figured out, because I was working on this with somebody else for a little while, and they were like, I'm really having a hard time figuring this out. Here's what we figured out. Here, they just do the due north. I'm going to take these lines here, and I'm going to extend them so we get north and south, and that's going to make this a lot more manageable. And you'll see why, I hope. If not, you'll figure it out eventually. Just kidding. All right, so here we go. In the diagram given, find the bearing of B from A. Okay, so this, I don't really like the way that they word this, because you're starting at A and you're going to B. So from A to B. That's how I like to. I would rewrite this as from A to B. So then you go, oh, I'm going from A to B. But they say B, what's the bearing of B from point A? Okay, so here's what we do. Here's point A, here's point B. So this blue line here is now the line that we want to go to, right? So we do this angle here. What's this bearing angle right here? Yes, that would just be this 72. So this thing here is simply 72 degrees. They gave us that one, right? It's a nice way to start, right? Give us a little confidence. That's good.
So A gave you the answer?
Yeah, A pretty much, because you're going from A to B. So you start at A, basically go, yeah.
Is that line A?
Officially, this is point A, but I always like to make it easier. I like to just go, like you always start from due north. So I'm going to go a little bit forward from A. So I'm going up to here. And then now I'm just going to see how far do I have to turn clockwise until I'm facing B, right? So here's,
I get
you follow?
now.
So here's A, like I'm at point A, and I'll say due north is the, I'll do the Isley form of due north is directly in front of me, right?
Yes.
So due north is directly in front of me. Now B is over at the cabinets here. So all I'm going to do is just say, okay, how many degrees do I rotate
Till you
to
face
get to the
that.
cabinet?
Oh,
And that would
okay.
be, in this case, would be 72 degrees, right?
Mm.
Okay? The spinny chair helps out with this. I know you can't see it on the video, but okay? Making a little bit of sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do B. We'll do this one in red. We're going to go from C to B. So we're starting at C. Start up here. And then here's the B line. So that's going to make it confusing if I have too many red lines on there. Huh? So we're going to go from from C all the way back around until we get to the B line here. So we've gone almost how far?
Almost 360.
Almost 360, right? But we stopped a little bit short. We stopped this angle right here. This is what we need to figure out, right? Okay? Now, here's why I had you extend these lines out, because, look, from here around to here is 162. How far would it be from here all the way around to this line down here?
180.
180, right? But this line right here only gives us 162. Now, here's the, I don't want to say trick, but Zoe's going to possibly cringe here again a little bit because we're going to go back to geometry days. Ew. All right, so we have this line here. That's this B right here. So we'll just call this, oops, there's B. And then we got this line here, which is the C. Just kind of showing you what we're up to here. And then see how we have this line that connects those 2 points? Yeah. This here. These lines, since they're both pointing due north, these are parallel lines, right? So here's the thing, back from geometry. What do we know about this angle and this angle?
It's the same.
They're the same. Anyone remember what those are called?
Congruent.
They're congruent, yes. And who knows why these two are congruent?
Because equal and opposite.
Yes, you're close. You're right on the right track. Anyone remember? Alternate interior angles. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Zoe's like dying inside. It's okay. We'll come back. Yes. Okay, so basically here's the idea. Here's how I like to look at this. Like we can figure out what this angle is right here, right? And once we know this, basically what you do is you take this angle. Here's our parallel lines. You just go across this. We call this line here the transversal. Cross across the transversal and slide into the corner, and these two will always be the same. Okay? So how can we figure out what this angle right here is? Subtract 162 from 180, right? Because we know that from here to here is 162. Here all the way around to this line is 180. So the difference of those two will leave us this little angle right here, which is 18 degrees. You following? Following somewhat? You guys okay? Kind of. Okay. So if we know that this angle here is 18 degrees, then guess what? Cross over that transversal line, slide into the corner. This here is also 18 degrees. So how do we figure out what the bearing of C back to B is going to be? I know you know. What are we going to do? What's that? 360 what? minus 18, perfect, right? Because we are 18 degrees short of a full circle. So we take 18 degrees away from 360 and we get 342, right? You following a little bit? We doing okay-ish?
Yeah.
Good, 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 good. If you followed that far, then you're going to be in really good shape. Okay, let's try C. From B back to A. Okay, so we're starting at B, and then we go all the way around until we hit the line that heads back to A, which is this angle right here.
So we should do 162 plus 72
Ooh, how come?
because the thingy is this way. Flip them.
Yes, alternate interior, right? This angle right here, cross over that transversal and slide in the corner. That's 72 also. So we know that from here to here is 180. Add the 72, and we are in business, right?
Yeah.
252. Okay? All right, one last one.
A to C.
Polish this off in purple here. A from C. So I'm starting at C, and I'm going to spin until I get back to A. So it starts at C and go around until we get back to this line here, which is A. How would we possibly figure out what that is? Well, what do you think? So how about this? From here all the way around would give us 360, right?
Yes.
But we stopped how far short?
18.
18 and...
So add the 49 and 18.
Yeah, we stopped 18 and 49 degrees short, right? So we add the 18 and the 49 together. 4, 5, 67 degrees. So we stopped 67 degrees short of a full circle, right?
So then subtract that from 360.
Yes, subtract that from 360 and we get 293. Good? Feeling okay-ish on that?
Sure.
Excellent.